from Magnolia State Weather. We have this storm that is to the northwest of Jackson currently that is under a special weather statement. However, this storm has some potential to do a few things. I think this storm could drop a tornado here in the next few minutes. And even with that, really the velocities came together very recently for this storm. Currently, this storm has a special weather statement. This is to the northwest of Jackson for wind gust up to 50 miles an hour. This is moving to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. This is moving towards Canton and towards highway or interstate, 55. This will cross over Highway 49 here soon near Flora and also south of Bentonia. But overall, this little storm to the northwest of Jackson has really been a little impressive in terms of velocity here in the last few minutes. If I go over and I play this now, well, one thing I want to go ahead and show off first. Let me go ahead and get my pin out. One thing I want to show off first is this kidney bean shape that this storm has developed here in the last few minutes. Looking very good. However, it is kind of all over the place as of right now. The storm is really coming together here. Within the next few minutes, we could easily see this storm try to produce a tornado. If not, it already has a mesocyclone possibly with it by this point. And so, the night's really just now beginning. It's going to be a long night. I'm not going to have many viewers tonight because it's late at night, but I'm here to prove to you that I'm going to be here when severe weather is moving through our area. Basically, for if you wake up in the middle of the night or if severe weather really pops up in the middle of nowhere, that we will be here. Right now, this is our camera from Laurel, Mississippi. I'm still clear down there in South Mississippi as of right now. But this one cell to the northeast or northwest of Jackson has our attention as of right now. This is in the warm sector. This is a solid 50 to 100 miles south of the warm sector line. So yes, this storm does have the potential to basically form a rotation and go for several miles. And so while we're not expecting extremely long track tornadoes tonight, that potential is there. And so we're going to continue to monitor it. So this area of rotation is now about to cross over Highway 49. I could expect the National Weather Service to possibly put a warning of some sorts on this storm here in the next few minutes. But even if this main cell decides not to do anything, this main cell up here that is about to cross 49 that you can see right here with its kidney bean shape, you can look just off to the south of it, and there's another area of rotation trying to form down there that is currently across Interstate 20 right now, basically over Bolton, Mississippi, as we speak. That is over Bolton right now. And so right now, both of these areas of rotation kind of broad, they're weak, but they do exist. They are there. And that's why we are monitoring that for right now. Overall, it is nighttime, so it's going to be very hard to see anything that happens with this system. And so we're just going to have to keep looking back and forth with velocity, with reflectivity. We got to see what's going on and what's happening. But a very, very active storm that we at least have as of right now. A very active storm out there to the west of Jackson. Fortunately, it does not look like we have any cameras on it as of right now. I'm working on getting us something here to look at. Possibly getting a view into this storm. This is about to cross Highway 49 right at Flora, Mississippi. Now, I'm not saying there's anything on the ground as of right now. I'm not saying that by any means, but I am saying there is an apparent area of rotation, albeit very broad, that is about to move over Flora, Mississippi. Currently looking for us some traffic cams to look at right now. We want those cameras. All right, let's look. We have plenty of cameras. Or we should at least have something. Let's see. We have a camera looking at this area of rotation here in Bolton. It's going to be off. I'm going to put that in the corner. That's with MDOT traffic. At least looking from Bolton, or the area of rotation to the south, really we see nothing as of right now. Remember, no severe thunderstorm warnings and no tornado warnings as of right now. But this one kind of double cell that spans from Pickens down to Bolton has two areas of rotation with it. And that's why we are kind of monitoring. And I know I keep using that word. That's why we're looking at the cell. And that's why I went live, is because I think that this cell has the potential to produce a tornado. I really think it has that potential. Now, will it happen? The chances are low because of just our situation that we have across the state right now. Some thunderstorms spanning from Winona over to, from Winona through Eupora, through Houston, through Aberdeen, and through Amory. That will start moving into downtown Eupora soon, moving into Starkville soon, and moving into the whole Golden Triangle region here in the next little bit. These are just thunderstorms, nothing severe with these storms up in the northern portion of the state. It's because they haven't reached the warm sector yet, or the warm sector hasn't reached them, I guess I should say. The warm sector way to the south as of right now. And I can pull up the warm sector chart here in just a second. And look at that. Right over Florida, we got some rotation up here in the lower, or down here in the lower levels of this storm. But it does look like a jumbled up mess for now. So we're not too worried about it as of right now. Okay, let's get this. I need my what's happening? I'm sorry, I don't know. I just got lost there for a second. I need my files. Sorry. Tweaking out. If we look at the dew points that I just loaded. Wrong thing. If we look at the dew point map, just real quick. Well, there we go. Sorry, I was looking for the dew point map. If we pull up the dew points that we have right now, this is current dew points across the state. We've seen really that warm sector has made it to Rolling Fork. It's past Yazoo City. It's past Carthage. Basically, probably at this point, passing over Philadelphia and Scuba right now. So making its way to the north. This will make its way towards Louisville, Macon, Kosciuszko, Belzoni, and Greenville here within the next probably 30 minutes or so. In the next 30 minutes or so is what we'll see with that. Overall, this line kind of stretching back out and becoming linear, kind of just one line of storms. Not really a lot of rotation visible with this storm as of right now. But we're going to continue to look at this since this cell does have rotation. It's one of the few instances of rotation we have, honestly, right now with this entire system. If we look at the correlation coefficient, obviously nothing being lofted into the air as of right now, and that's a good thing. It's one thing we don't want to see. We don't want to see debris lofted into the air. That means property damage. That means people's lives are at stake. And so if you're just tuning in where this is happening, this is off to the northwest of Jackson. basically crossing over Highway 49 near Flora. So if I can get a timing for this cell in particular, while it is moving slow, it is still something to watch as it moves off to the northeast. Let's see. Stokes by 12:33 a.m. by Verlila at 12:43. We see Davis at 12:58. At Vaughan at 1:06. And so this storm is moving fairly slow. But if you're in the path of it, just be aware there's nothing on the ground as of right now. But overall, a rotating thunderstorm off to your southwest. So good bits of lightning out there. You can see with that sky cam that's up there in our corner. Let me pull that up for us right here. This is MDOT traffic cam. This is looking to the west from basically from Clinton. This is in Bolton, Mississippi. Big lightning show with this system for right now. Lots and lots of lightning associated with this. We'll go back to our radar now. Like I said, not lots going on tonight. It's going to stay very slow until we get one or two tornadoes on the ground at one time, and then the event's over. So, this rotation has broadened out a lot with this rotating thunderstorm that was over Flora. It's probably going to take this storm just a little bit to kind of reorganize and figure itself out here within the next few minutes. Let's try to see if we can get a better looking camera. Let's see, this is going to be this will be a decent camera. Not the best view in the world, but this is from Canton looking off to the west. You'll be able to see some lightning there looking off to the west from Canton, Mississippi. This should be looking directly into basically the bulk of this storm. Lots of lightning associated with it. You could tell from radar. But it's the rotation that we're most worried about as of right now. And look at this. We have a new push now, a new inflow push from the south portion of the storm. If I basically, what you're seeing is we're seeing a new push in the inflow notch of this storm. And so what this might try to do is this might push up into the storm, and this might allow a quick little spin up to happen with this supercell. And I'm not saying that it will produce a tornado, but I will say that if this push does happen, it will definitely create some rotation in this storm that could potentially produce a tornado. It's all about potentials right now, and I know it's just sounding like this has the potential for this and this has the potential for that, but that's just how a night like tonight is. It is a slight risk. It's not all of the ingredients are there. You need localized areas of ingredients to really get what you need from these storms. Not really the best angle of that camera with that with that version we have right now. Actually just pull up that traffic cam right now with the radar in the corner. Gonna be a lightning show. Yeah, lots of lightning you can see from this traffic cam that's in Canton. I hope you are all having a lovely night, at least as of right now. Zero severe thunderstorm warnings, zero tornado warnings. As the meteorology major, it's not the most fun thing in the world when you're not having active weather, but it is good for you people out there that definitely don't want to see any severe weather tonight. And I can understand it is Thanksgiving week. Probably not wanting too much to get in the way of your plans, and you would probably enjoy some sleep this week as you get ready for whatever activities it will be that you will be doing on Thanksgiving. But a major cool down coming later this week. Um, we'll start talking about that here soon at Magnolia State Weather. But we got to get through this severe weather threat first, and it's going to be a long night ahead. I'll probably be live, or not live, but I'll be awake until I have classes in the morning. So that'll be fun, and I have class at 9:30. So I do think that our severe weather potential will last into late tomorrow morning. But I think our severe weather potential ends when storms move out of the state. So that's what I'm thinking for now. Going back to the radar, I'll put that back in the corner. Lots of lightning up there. We are seeing that push from the south with this inflow, and then we're seeing some of the rear flanking or the rear downdraft coming out from behind the mesocyclone. So like I said, whoa, that was weird. Like I said, we have that inflow into the storm, we have outflow out of the storm. That's going to produce some rotation right here. This is off to the east of Flora now. This is going to be moving over Anderson here in the next few minutes. This is just a big mesocyclone that's probably messy, probably extremely rainy, lots of lightning, but overall, some lower level rotation happening with this storm. Gonna just take a few radar scans here in the next few minutes to see exactly what's going on. But really, that area of rotation is not really in the right spot if we really look at it. That's it. Is at 12? I know it is in the right spot. I'm sorry. I was not looking at the right thing. Yeah, overall, you're seeing this cell get its act back together. Lots of rotation here. Or not lots of rotations, lots of curvature with this cell that is now passed over Flora. This is going to be between Highway 49 and between Interstate 55 now. And so look at that classic shape here now that we have with this system. So this system, or this storm, I should say, looks to be maturing, looks to be trying to produce at least a wall cloud or something. Do I see the watch extending into Jones County? I should have probably answered that. That was 6 minutes ago. Sorry, I didn't have chat open. Do I see the watch extending into Jones County? I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible that we see the watch extended in the Jones County. Will anything happen in Jones County? I think the odds are very low, but I think the ingredients are there to issue a tornado watch. Albeit a very weak tornado watch at that, but I do think that possibility is there, and I do think they will do it. Really depending on how active these storms seem to be in central Mississippi here in the next few hours. I do think that our best tornado chance is going to be in the western portion of the state. So that's like two different things. I think they will issue a tornado watch, but I don't know if really anything will happen on that side of the state towards Jones County. If anything, I think more stuff will happen towards the southern. Like it's kind of weird to say. Like I think stuff will happen in southwestern Mississippi, and stuff will happen in coastal Mississippi. But around Laurel, around Hattiesburg, I think it's going to be a little difficult to see some tornadoes. But that chance is probably still there, yeah, albeit very low. Sorry, I didn't see that question. You got to open up the chat. Perfect. I now have chat. That's good to have. Good to know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I can actually see the chat now, so that's good to know. But now, all of a sudden, this storm has really weakened in terms of rotation once again. So it's like it's kind of going through these cycles. It kind of gets its act together, but then it kind of broadens out the rotation, and then it comes back together, and then it does it again. And that really matters in terms of like what we're looking at in terms of atmospheric dynamics. And I'm not even going to get into that right now. It's a whole different ballgame to figure out. But what you're probably going to see is you're going to see this lower area of this storm, this southern portion, is going to rotate back into the main portion of the supercell. And so if that happens, it's going to be a little difficult tonight due to several factors. But if it does rotate back in, we'll see some rotation form once again in this cell. But if the kind of body of this supercell leaves this tail behind, it's going to be really hard to produce any rotation with this supercell. And I know we're harping on this one little cell, but this really is the only cell that looks to have the shot of doing anything as of right now. Golly. I'm struggling over here. I don't know why. Go side by side once again so we can see. Let's put velocity and reflectivity side by side. So yeah, very broad area of rotation. This is now to the east of Flora. This is about to cross over Livingston, Mississippi, and Mansdale, Mississippi here before too long. But overall, like I said, just probably a rotating wall cloud, albeit very weak. And now that we see the next scan of the radar, it's probably looking a little worse because we're getting a little closer to the radar site. But if I play this ahead, or if I play how this has looked over time, this storm finally kind of is getting itself, like, it's finally getting by itself, which is sort of a good thing, but it looks like the dynamics of the storm is kind of not there. And so if it produces something here in the next few minutes, I'd be shocked to say the least. Overall, doesn't look great. But I mean, like I said, it is only a slight risk for severe weather tonight. Which is even weirder because we've only really seen 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We look at the satellite. And we go to the long wave. This is what I went to last time to see if storms were strengthening or weakening. We play this through. I'm going to need some more frames than that. We'll go through the last little bit. This system that's now to the north of Vicksburg has kind of exploded in the last few hours. This is the newest kind of addition to this system. And so these storms are still maturing and are still trying to get stronger. And they're trying to become the dominant cells of this system. However, they might become linear here before long, which will diminish the tornado chances tonight. I'm going to be honest. It will completely diminish them. But yeah, I mean, no severe thunderstorm warning on this system. So really, the National Weather Service is not even monitoring it as of right now. So Just waiting to see if the National Weather Service decides to do anything with this. We're still looking into this system with this sky cam from Canton, Mississippi. I'll bring that back up once again. Oh wow. Amazing shot of that lightning we just had on that traffic cam. Definitely cloud to ground lightning. Lots of lightning with this storm. Wow, it is just lighting up the sky there in, I believe this is in Madison County. Let me double check. I do believe this is Madison County. Yes, this is Madison County. Starting to look at some of these cells that are to the south now, towards New Orleans. Let me bring that back up on radar. These cells will eventually have the chance of producing some severe storms later on by the time they get up towards Jackson and they can mature and form together. These storms down here towards the Mississippi Louisiana state line will be the best chance for that. Sorry, I'm yawning a lot. I don't know what's going on. Probably just tired, if I'm going to be honest. But we have to keep going through it. We have to shrink. We have to strengthen through it. To keep going. Keep pushing through. Go back to the traffic cam real quick. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. Amazing lightning we're seeing on that traffic cam. Wow. We're going to see if I can find any information regarding any of these storms. Probably not. All that lightning. Some rotation once again trying to form with the storm. But it's kind of been the same old we've seen for the last several minutes, the last probably near an hour, it feels like at this point. I'm really even questioning on if this is a hook echo with the storm. I mean, lots and lots of lightning and lots of lightning and very heavy rain makes me question on if like this portion of the storm is really like what would produce a tornado, just because normally you don't really see that with these supercells. But I mean, the issue for this storm is it's about to start moving into drier conditions, and we talked about that earlier. Um, Gotta bring that up once again. We talked about that dew point map, that dew point, and this is important because as soon as those storms move out of the dew point or move out of the warm sector, they're going to lose all their energy. They're going to lose all their chances of basically rotating. And that warm sector is probably up to about Kosciuszko at this point. And so this storm really only has maybe about 30 minutes before it moves out of the warm sector. Going back to the traffic cam. We have that. Still looking at lots and lots of lightning from the traffic cam in Canton. This storm's about to move directly over us from this camera here in Canton. About to move directly over Canton, Mississippi. This is currently passing over, or this storm is currently passing over Livingston, passing over Mansdale, passing over Richton and uh, Charlton before it will then cross over Interstate 55 just to the north of Gluckstadt. It will pass over 857, so Mississippi Highway 857, and then it will cross over Highway 16 as it nears Canton. This area is still in a special weather statement for the next 20 minutes. And then that will expire for the most part. Special weather statement off to the west now of Vicksburg. I think this is a new special weather statement. Let's see what it says. Well, I can't read it. Interesting. Yep. Hazards include 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Some rotation on the squall line to the west of Vicksburg, spanning from Tallula, Louisiana, down to, what is that, Gilbert and Wissner. But overall, nothing really to worry about right now, just some broad rotation with those storms. And so here's one thing to note, is so this storm that we've been monitoring for a very weak potential tornado threat is now going to become part of this squall line. And so this is going to become the front of the squall line. And so that squall line is going to be well off to the north for now, which is going to kind of leave this warm sector clear. And so it's looking as if there's going to be plenty of just air down here. Plenty of clean air. Oh, I'm not showing it on the radar. Plenty of clean air. Plenty of clean, moist air to the south of this squall line that's forming. There's going to be plenty of favorable conditions for storms to form down here in southwestern Mississippi. And so I think over the next few hours, we will see storms mature in southwestern Mississippi, to the north of Baton Rouge, to the north and to the north of New Orleans as well, but probably off towards the Baton Rouge side, just a little more. Going back to this traffic cam, and I know we keep going back and forth to this traffic cam, but whenever weather is slow, you gotta do something. Gotta look at something. So this storm is only a few minutes away from from getting a rear push. And then really once this rear push comes from behind this main storm, I'll go back to it here. So once this storm gets a push from this storm that's behind it, once it pushes, it'll really fall apart. So that's where we're standing in terms of this real final shot to possibly get any rotation for the next little while, unless we get something along the squall line that's to the west of Vicksburg. I guess they expired some of the tornado watch back in Louisiana. All right. So banding out now just a little bit because we can. Get rid of the double view. Need some music playing in the back. We gotta get going. Too late for this. Yeah, it looks as if now the northern portion of this storm has now been overtaken by the squall line. You see, here was the squall line, and then it just got rain wrapped. Really not really. It's kind of weird. Not really a squall line for much sakes, but we're starting to see these storms now shift directions. The northern portion of the storm, instead of moving off to the north, is now moving off to the east. Um, more off to the east, I should say. And now all of a sudden, this storm does not look great by any means. Um, so if I pull out the reflectivity, look at that. There's no more like kidney bean type shape you look for in these storms. Overall, not looking that great. That has now became a linear storm. We still have that lightning show as seen from this traffic cam in Canton, not Clinton, in Canton. My bad. Apologies. I know my city is near Jackson. Don't worry. Just kind of waiting on the scans here, waiting to see um maybe what happens. We might go off air once again. Just because whenever on nights like this, I'm not gonna keep wasting my time and probably even wasting your time just staying live for hours, just looking at the same thing, looking at nothing happening. Of course, I'd come back if something happens in Mississippi. I'd wake up immediately and be on here. Um, but overall, for the most part, looks like we're very limited. Some rotation with these storms off in Louisiana. I'll bring this back. Some very weak rotation here over Louisiana Highway 4. This still has yet to cross the river, though. And so, still over in the state of Louisiana. Gonna give this storm just a few more scans to see what's really happening. I think it is now shifted in its direction. Yeah, it's now very elongated and is becoming really eaten up by the line up to the north. Continuing to watch the storms off to the south that are forming in the warm sector. These are going to be something to watch as we go later into the night towards 3 o'clock or so. And so, with that, I think our risk for right now, our risk is pretty much very low. That I'm going to probably lay down and rest my voice for a little bit because it should get a little more interesting later. I came live for that one cell that looked like it had the potential to do something, but it didn't. And that's a good thing. Overall, Storm's really not wanting to do a whole bunch of anything. So, anyways, I'm about to go for a little bit. I will be back live once we have some activity in Mississippi. Um, and then if it looks like it's just going to be like maybe one, I mean, I would love to be live for whatever tornadoes we may have. But I mean, if we just have one quick spin up tornado that is then gone after it's warned, so like it spins up, National Weather Service warns it, and then it's gone immediately, we might not be able to cover it just because it's in the wee hours of the night. It's a little difficult to deal with those. But yes, that storm that we were watching is now starting to move off into less favorable conditions, and so I'm not really worried about it. We're gonna have to wait a few more hours to see really what this severe weather will entail with us. But overall, central Mississippi, capital portion of Mississippi, just remember you are in a tornado watch for right now, and so just make sure you stay weather aware over the next few hours as this severe weather continues to pass and starts to pass into Mississippi.